Hello, welcome to Store Stories. Every Friday, I would like to release a video of the weird stuff I've had to deal with working at a grocery store. And I've been kind of wanting to make this video since December, but roommate had health issues that caused delays in projects. Long story, I'm not going to share his health issues on here. Anyway, back in December or November, an older man got a job at a store as he got hired on as a carryout. But he was constantly, constantly complaining because he's 70 years old. He's 70 years old. You can't expect this old man at 70 years old to do all this work that we're expecting him to do. Because he's just so old.
He's too old to work. Why did he get a job?
So, really good question. That's a good question I don't have an answer for. Maybe he should have planned out retirement better. I can't really say I have the next 40 or 50 years planned out that well. I have an IRA, I have a couple of IRAs, and a 401k. When I'm reading the stuff about the 401k or the IRA, I can understand it while I'm reading it. But once I'm done reading it, if you ask me any questions about how that stuff works, I'm going to give you a blank look. Who knows, maybe he got bored in retirement because there's quite a few people, elderly people, who get retired and then get a job out just to get out of the house to have something to do because they're retired and they're sitting around not doing anything. So they get a job. They decide to get a job at a grocery store, get a job as carryout because the carryout's not doing anything, right? They're just sitting there, standing there, putting stuff in bags. It's not like they actually work, right? They're not actually working, right? They're just sitting there, putting stuff in bags.
Slight sarcasm detected.
Well, and one of the problems with the guy is he was so old. He's so old. He's so old. He can't work. So he's going to go ahead and save the company some labor costs. He's going to go ahead and go home because he's just so old. You can't expect a 70-year-old man to work. So he's going to go ahead and save the company some labor costs by going in and go ahead and go home. Well, yeah, that saves the company some labor costs, but we're also being shorthanded because you're too old to do your job.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go. Just don't bother coming back.
Yeah, he didn't last long. The management didn't like the idea of a man just working whenever he felt like it. And when he didn't feel like it, he's just so old. You can't expect an old man to work. So, well, he's not going to work. But it just seems like a bad idea feedback loop because if you think you're too old to do anything, you're going to convince yourself you're too old to do anything, and then you're going to not do anything because you think you're too old to do anything. This video isn't to lump all senior citizens together. It's age discrimination or anything. But there are quite a few people, elderly people, that go, well, I'm up to this age, so I might as well not do anything because I'm up to this age, and that's the age I get to where I don't have to do anything because why bother doing anything because I'm at this age. That sounds like a horrifying age to get to where you just don't bother learning anything, don't bother doing anything because you just too old to do anything or learn anything. It's just, then what are you doing here? What are you sucking up my oxygen for if you're just thinking you're too old to bother doing anything? I didn't ask him his politics, but it's not because it's not any of my business, but it really does make me concerned for the next several years.
Oh, here comes the political opinion.
Well, this guy coming in at 70 is just too old to work because you just can't expect a 70-year-old man to work because he's 70 years old. He's just too old to work at the lowest job in the store. But President Trump was just elected to be the highest office in the land. He's 78. Are we expecting more out of the 78-year-old man than the 70-year-old man? If 70-year-old is just, you have to expect that he's just too old to work. 78 is better. I get that attitude plays a lot into it, and if you ask His Holiness Supreme Overlord Grand Emperor Trump, he's going to tell you he's the best thing ever happened and the greatest thing in the world because he is the holiness of the Supreme Overlord. So you expect a 78-year-old man who's actually, when done with his current administration, he's going to be 72. He's going to be 82, and he's selling merchandise for Trump 2028. He's talking about running another term. He insists that he's not doing that. But he is also talking about the loopholes to get into another term, and the Constitution says no more than 2 terms, but so the Constitution says a lot of other things that he says he's not sure if he has to uphold. So yeah, that's political opinions that I'm gonna get distracted by. Yeah, I get that their attitude is gonna play a lot into that. If you start thinking that you're too old to bother doing anything, you're gonna think you're too old to do anything. Distracted by political opinions there. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off there because who's even watching about past this point. But anyway, but yeah, it's like, why are you? What are you going to do with your life if you get to the point where you think you're too old to bother doing anything? But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hopefully, get to start making more videos again. Not political stuff, but anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And have a nice day.